If you've ever played Battle for Bikini Bottom, you're probably familiar with the Golden Spatula. In the console version, SpongeBob must collect 75 spatulas to challenge the final boss. The game offers 98 spatulas that can be collected before the final boss, allowing for creative routing to beat the game for the fastest. However, in the forgotten GBA version, SpongeBob must collect 72 spatulas. The problem is that there are only 72 spatulas in the game. There are 24 levels in the GBA version, each with 3 spatulas. SpongeBob must collect 3 spatulas in each level and reach a gate before he can advance to the next level. With 100% of spatulas being required to reach the next level, the game is quite linear and doesn't allow for much creative routing. Right? Well, the game ended up being far more complex than any may have expected. In early 2019, a thread was created on Speedrun.com by a runner named Entep, who would later be known as 24-hour runs. The thread encompassed a video showing the spatula counter increasing from 0 to 2, only collecting a singular spatula. This discovery was not understood at the time, however, it was later thought to happen after going the opposite direction the frame after collecting the spatula, but the true reason for this bizarre glitch would not be found out for a while, as the only runner of the game was on an Android emulator, and there was little desire from all the runners to play the game. Now, how significant was this discovery? As I said earlier, SpongeBob must collect 3 spatulas and reach a gate to advance the next level. The level that the first spatula was found in was 3-4. Unlike most levels in BFBB GBA, the player has access to the goal as soon as they enter the level. This makes the only challenge in 3-4 to get 3 spatulas. With spatula duplication, you are able to skip a long and tedious section to reach the 3rd spatula, and instead go straight to the goal. The time save for this trick was just over a minute. The trick became a staple of BFBB GBA speedrunning with its massive time save. However, the trick's frame-perfect timing and inability to retry if you missed the one frame makes it a very tough strategy and led to a lot of resets. 3 spat dupes were found not long after the discovery of the OG spat dupe. The first dupe was in 3-1. At the time, the level was thought to be linear and not open. This dupe was taught to pull off due to focusing on placing a bomb on a pressure plate. This was far more difficult than the spat dupe in 3-4. The time save of this dupe was also only about 2 seconds, as the dupe only skips a singular jump to collect the 3rd spatula. Seeing this dupe perform was a rare sight, and many who watched BFBB GBA speedruns didn't even know this dupe existed. The next dupe was in 1-5. It was found you could duplicate the 1st spatula. This skipped jumping off mystery to reach the 3rd spatula. The time save of this was about 5 seconds, making it a lavish time save, but not essential. The 4th dupe discovered was in 4-5. It was found that it is possible to duplicate the 3rd spatula. Skipping the 2nd spatula was the fastest option here. The time save of this trick was roughly 10 seconds. However, it is very risky to skip the 2nd spatula in any percent due to losing a full minute or more if you missed a frame-perfect dupe. This dupe was only ever done in ILs, and 80% of runs that got this dupe would just show as 4 out of 3 spatulas. 4 spat dupes were found at the original discovery, with only 1 having a significant time save. More spat dupes would have to be found through creative thinking to save more time in BFBB GBA speedrunning. In April of 2020, a new discovery was made showing a Krabby Patty being duped in a different method. For 1 frame after collecting the Krabby Patty, you could jump off a mystery to duplicate the Krabby Patty. Krabby Patty duping was not useful in 8%. Krabby Patties were not required to reach the goal and were only used in 100% in all photos to play a bonus auto-scroller level. The player would receive a photo if they collect all the Krabby Patties in the bonus level. This discovery had no implications, but its unique method led to speculation within the BFBB GBA community. In June of 2020, a new spat dupe was found in 2-5 by a runner named Shoecake90. By grabbing 2 robots placed by the 2nd spatula, the 2nd spatula can be achieved with mystery, which normally you are expected to get by jumping off mystery. This This discovery allowed us to skip the third spatula in 2-5. The time save of this trick was roughly 30 seconds. However, it did include more risk than the normal spat dupe. Taking time to grab robots would lead to a roughly 15-second time loss over not attempting to dupe at all. The 30-second time save was originally not considered essential, but the strategy was seen as difficult and rewarding if achieved. On the same day, another dupe was found in 4-4 after the long drought of new spat dupes. The third spatula could be duped by grabbing a robot and reaching an area that would not normally be reached with mystery. The optimal strategy would be skipping the first spatula. This dupe would face the same downfall as the 4-5 dupe. The player would only dupe the last spatula and would lose over a minute if failed. These tricks were not viable in any percent and were only attempted in IL runs due to levels taking place 50 minutes into the run, and the large time loss from missing them. Other than the trick not being viable, it saved roughly 15 seconds in the speedrun. In March of 2021, 24-hour runs would post a video of him performing a patty dupe with the original spat duping tech. This furthered the idea that the patty duping tech discovered may be possible with spatulas. Theories were proposed for large potential time saves, but those would come later. Then, in May of 2021, a discovery would be found that would change BFBB GBA speedrunning forever. "24-hour runs discovered that after jumping and eating with Mystery, there's a 5-frame window where Mystery can perform a second jump. This allows high places to be reached earlier than intended and saved over 2 minutes alone in the speedrun. But the big time save from this is yet to be mentioned. With double jumps, Mystery is able to reach even more places that they were not intended to reach. The first time save regarding spatulas affected 2 already found. In 2-5, Spat Dupe now saved even more time because you did not have to grab 2 robots to get Mystery to the spatula. This not only added 15 seconds to the original Spat Dupe time save, but a new route was found that involved double jumping to get on the roof, which made resetting until you get the spatula accessible in any percent. On the other hand, double jumping lowered the time save of the 1-5 Spat Dupe from 5 seconds to 1.5 seconds, due to no longer needing to jump off of Mystery to get the third spatula. This was just the surface of double jumping, and we have not gotten to the new Spat Dupes yet. The first new Spat Dupe to require double jumping would be in 3-5. By using a double jump instead of jumping off Mystery, Mystery can reach the spatula furthest from the start of the level and duplicate it. Speedrunners ended up skipping the spatula closest to the start of the level for a time save of about 7 seconds, which was not a necessity, but a lavish and pleasant time save. On July 1st, 2021, the current 80% record of 108.45 would be achieved by 24-hour runs. This would use the dupes in 2-5 and 3-4, but would not consider any dupes past this point. The very next day, a new large spat dupe was found in 4-4. By double jumping to reach the first spatula instead of jumping off Mystery, you could reach the spatula and duplicate it. You would then skip the final spatula in the level and go straight to the goal. This spat dupe saved 30 seconds and saved 15 seconds over the old non-viable method. However, just 5 days later, a discovery would be made that would kill the game. In 4-2, 24-hour runs deactivated the fan using SpongeBob's bubble and transported the fan all the way to the other fan in the level. He then spat out the fan and ate an activated fan just to spit it out a few feet away. He then proceeded to eat the deactivated fan and placed it directly below the first spatula. He then discovered you could perform spat dupes with an object placed by the player. This gave him 2 spatulas out of the first section, but instead of backtracking at the intended second spatula, he brings a fan all the way to the portal to get the third spatula. However, the spatula is just out of reach with Mystery. Thankfully, with the new double jumping tech, this allows SpongeBob to get enough height to reach a spatula. Then, you are able to leave the portal you entered and go straight to the goal. This trick saved 100 seconds. Normally a trick like this, with this much time save, would revive a game, but due to the difficulty of this dupe, it would instead set the game to rest. The game remained dormant for the rest of 2021, and almost all of 2022, with the only 2022 discovery being a small jump.
However, at the end of 2022, 24-hour runs was returning to speedrunning. This time, he was on a PC emulator to look into Spat duping with save states.
It was a long-time theory that using the original patty dupe was also possible to do with spatulas. It then was seen as increasingly likely when a patty dupe was performed using the original spat duping method. Then, on January 17, 2023, 24-hour runs proved that indeed spatulas can be duplicated with the original patty dupe method. He used the patty dupe method to duplicate the first spatula in 3-1, then went back to get the third spatula. This saved 40 seconds, however, is much harder to pull off due to having to do a one frame in the air. The next day, 3-5 followed. He was able to dupe the second closest spatula to the start of the level, and then use an R-clip to get out of the building they were stuck in, and hit a bubble switch to retrieve mystery, and then go back to the closest spatula to the start of the level. This cuts out the long section to get the spatula further from the start. The total time saved of this was 1 minute and 50 seconds, the largest of any dupe, but it was still very hard to pull off. 2 days later, a new tool-assisted speedrun by Wertwekel was discovered completing BFBB GBA in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 59 seconds. This did lack the 4-2, 3-1, and 3-5 strategies. The game is difficult to learn, but another speedrunner by the name of Punch Shot was up to the challenge. His goal was to make the first tool-assisted speedrun of BFBB GBA in under an hour. The task currently is on hold, but more was discovered about spat duping and how it works. It was discovered that spat duping was achieved by pressing nothing the frame after collecting the spatula and not pressing left. If SpongeBob's head is at or above the height of the spatula, a normal dupe can be performed, but the dupe in the air did not need SpongeBob's head to meet the spatula, allowing for a dupe almost anywhere. A new dupe was used in the task in 2-2 that saves half a second. We do not know when the task will be finished, but we are excited for our return to the task. Overall, spat duping fundamentally changed BFBB GBA from a linear speedrun loaded with backtracking and boring puzzles to an exciting and difficult 2D platformer speedrun. At the end of the day, there are still many negative aspects of BFBB GBA as a game, but the speedrun still allows BFBB GBA to pack a punch and provide exciting gameplay at times. Thank you so much for watching this documentary, and I recommend you watch some of my recent speedruns.